Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, I thought there were no more announcements from San Diego Comic Con, but there was another one, and I thought this was a joke when I first heard it. I really did. And then I saw the boys from Trek Boys talking about it like it was a real thing. I'm like, oh no. This can't be real. Okay, so what they're doing, the latest Star Trek series, they're doing a knockoff of Riser. They're not using Riser because that would require actually paying to use original canon universe characters and names and the basically Riser device. And they're doing a Star Trek series, not based on a Federation ship, not based in Starfleet Academy, not based on Earth, but just on some random alien planet, on a pleasure planet. It's like a bar in a resort. And they're just going to have random aliens from around the universe doing stuff. They couldn't get further away from Star Trek if they tried. Had they done like a Klingon series or Romulan series or something, you could maybe understand. It could be an interesting way to look at Star Trek through their side and see events from Star Trek history from their side. Something like that could have been interesting. But just a bar on a random planet's got nothing to do with Starfleet, nothing to do with Earth, nothing to do with Star Trek. It's just, hey, we want to make a science fiction series about aliens, and we know it won't do well, but if we use the Star Trek name and brand, maybe the audience, like lemmings, will just follow because they can't think, because they're not intelligent, and they just, eat content. Apparently that's what this is, and I'm like, I thought, because I'd heard and I'd been told through various videos and things, that they were going to do Star Trek Legacy. That they're actually going to do Legacy. They were just waiting to announce it after they had they can only produce like one thing at a time because they are limited to budget now because of Paramount Plus. And it would be the next thing that was announced after Strange New Worlds had done their season and Academy had started filming and was doing their first season. Then they were going to announce Legacy, and then that would follow Starfleet Academy. That's what I'd heard, and that made sense because if all the fans want it. All the fans wanted Strange New Worlds, and they got it for at least one season before it turned into a parody. If you've seen that clip of the instant Vulcan just add hypo spray, that shows a joke. If you look at Pike's hair, that shows it's a parody. They're making fun of Star Trek because they have no respect for the show. They don't think people, not contemporary audiences at least, who aren't fans, can actually have any understanding or respect for the show. So the only way to deal with it is to parody it and laugh at it. It's just so painful being a Star Trek fan right now and watching them use the IP like this to just put out crap that's got nothing to do with Star Trek, nothing to do with the themes, nothing to do with the universe, nothing to do with any of the things that made Star Trek great, that made it a phenomenon, that made people actually inspired by it and love it and follow it and keep it alive over decades when the studios tried to kill it multiple times because they didn't see any value in it. But no, they just... And I really, really thought that Legacy was going to happen. I actually thought they were just waiting, not caring about us, wanting it right now, but just going, okay, well, we've got this, we'll do this, and then we'll do that. Like they did with Strange New Worlds. It was a rumbling that was coming for a year or two before it actually was announced, because they were planning to do it, but they just had put it in the line, and they were just focusing on things that they were working on and producing things, and it just was released at a certain time and announced at a certain time and released, and that was the way they did things. I thought the same thing was happening with Starfleet Legacy, Star Trek Legacy. So the fans want Legacy. They want a 25th century series, basically following on from after Voyager, Picard season 3, just that universe ongoing. That's what fans want, but they won't give it to us. Instead, they're giving us Starfleet Academy in the 31st century and a random alien resort. Now, supposedly it's set in the 25th century, so it is apparently in that same time frame of Legacy that we wanted, but it's not based in Starfleet. It's not around Starfleet characters or any of the characters we know. It's just people on a resort. Now, unless it's going to be Quark running the resort and then people from Star Trek are just going to show up randomly through most of the episodes and we can have all the old characters just come in because Starfleet things are just coming to, the resort and politics and drama and alien issues are coming there, or just people are literally just vacationing. Because the other talk is that it's basically a light sort of comedy, so maybe it'll be like a live action half-hour show instead of a full 1 hour drama show. The idea is that the animation shows are failing, but they still want to do a Star Trek light or Star Trek comedy, so now they're doing it live action, and that's what this is supposed to be. That's just talk. I haven't heard the actual announcement. I'm not sure how detailed or limited it was. I just thought it was a joke, and then when I heard it in the background, then I heard people talking about it and realised, oh, it was a real announcement. It actually is apparently going to happen. So it's just, Star Trek is beyond dead. Now they're just using the IP just to release other shows and do other things that have nothing to do with Star Trek. Prodigy was just a Star Wars series. But at least they use Starfleet ships and stuff. But this is just so far removed. It's just not Star Trek. And literally, not an exaggeration, not hyperbole or whatever. It's just not Star Trek.